If you spend any time in a DIY audio forum, you'll eventually run into someone who tells you that a dead box kills the sound, that a speaker cabinet should resonate like a musical instrument, that mass and rigidity are the wrong approach. It's a minority view, but it's a persistent one, and it comes up enough that I think it deserves a real answer. Because the argument sounds compelling on the surface, and if you don't pull it apart carefully, it can actually seem convincing. So today I'm going to walk through it and tell you exactly where it breaks down. The argument for a resonant cabinet usually goes something like this. A Stradivarius violin sounds incredible because of the wood. A Steinway piano sounds incredible because of the wood. An acoustic guitar sounds incredible because of the wood. Therefore, speakers should use wood the same way. A dead box can never be musical. I've heard versions of this argument many times, and I want to give it the respect it deserves because it does sound compelling. But there's a fundamental problem with it. So think about that acoustic guitar. You pluck the string, the body resonates, and that resonance is the sound. Take the body away and you have almost nothing. The wood isn't just holding the strings, it's producing the music. It's the same with a violin, same with a piano. In every acoustic instrument, the wood body is the instrument. The resonance is the whole point. But a speaker cabinet is not the instrument. The driver is. The driver receives an electrical signal that converts it to motion. That motion moves air, and that moving air is the sound. So the cabinet's job is to support the driver and control what happens behind it. It's not supposed to add its own voice to the signal. So when someone says a concrete cabinet can never be musical, they're applying the logic of an acoustic instrument to a transducer. And those are fundamentally different things. Let's talk about what actually happens when a cabinet resonates. When a driver moves, it pushes energy in both directions. Forward into the room, that's what you want, and also backward into the cabinet. A cabinet that resonates absorbs some of that energy and releases it slightly delayed. It adds its own frequency signature to whatever the driver is playing. Now, some people like that. Some builders deliberately tune that resonance to flatter certain frequencies. And in some designs, it works. But here's the thing. That resonance is not on the recording. It's not what the engineer heard in the studio. It's not what the artist intended. It's something that the cabinet added. And if your goal is accuracy, if you want the speaker to reproduce what's actually on the recording, the cabinet resonance is working against you. It's coloration by definition. Now I want to be fair here, because the resonant camp isn't just making things up. There is a legitimate school of thought that says, if the cabinet is going to resonate anyway, you control it and tune it. Use thin panels, specific damping materials, deliberate construction. Make the resonance predictable and benign rather than trying to eliminate it. So that is a real engineering approach, and some builders have spent years refining it. But notice what it's actually saying. It's not saying resonance is good, it's saying resonance is inevitable, so you manage it. I'm asking a different question. What if it's not inevitable? What if you change the material entirely and design the resonance out from the start? I want to thank this week's sponsor, Pale Blue Batteries. They got these really cool batteries with a USB-C port right on the battery. So you can take a power bank on the go, you can charge them up, have power on the go. Pale Blue Batteries, they're awesome. So this is where concrete comes in. Mass resists movement. That's physics. That's Newton's first law. An object at rest stays at rest unless acted on by an outside force. My current cabinet weighs around 50 pounds. The driver producing the force that acts on it weighs a fraction of that. The cabinet is not going to move, not because I tuned it, not because I damped it, because the mass ratio makes movement essentially impossible. And that's not a philosophical position, that's mechanics. And it means the energy the driver produces goes to where I designed it to go, into the room, through the air, to your ears, not into flexing cabinet panels. I want to be precise about something here. I'm not telling you that concrete speakers sound better than wood speakers. I don't have a controlled comparison with measurements to back that up, and I'm not going to make a claim that I can't support. But what I am saying is this. If your goal is a cabinet that doesn't add its own resonant signature, concrete is a more direct path to that goal than wood. Whether you can hear the difference is a separate question. Whether the difference shows up in measurements is also a separate question. And those are exactly the questions I'm working to answer. I recently had my concrete measured by a third party. I'm testing new mix formulations, I'm designing controlled comparisons, and I'm not asking you to take my word for it. I'm building the evidence. Here's what I'll give the resonant cabinet camp. Decades of serious builders have produced speakers people love using that philosophy. The listening experience matters, and a speaker that measures perfectly but sounds sterile to the human ears is really a failed design. I understand why experienced builders are skeptical of the dead box. They've heard bad implementations. A poorly designed, rigid cabinet can have its own problems. Internal standing waves, diffraction issues, resonances at specific frequencies. So rigid doesn't automatically mean good, it just means the design work has to be done properly. And that's what I'm trying to do. CAD design, proper internal geometry, third-party measurements, and controlled testing, not just pouring some concrete and hoping for the best. The dead box debate isn't going away, and honestly, I don't think it should. Healthy disagreement between serious builders pushes the whole field forward. But I know where I stand. The cabinet's job is to get out of the way. And concrete is the best tool I've found to make that happen. If you want to follow the testing as it happens, please subscribe. If you want to get your hands on one of these cabinets when they're ready, make sure you get on my email list. The link is in the description, or you can email me at info@timberwestdesign.com. Thanks for watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week.